we put it into Premiere Pro and used the Ultra key to turn it into actual green screen, there was a lot of shadows and grey areas. So I decided to see if I could change the colour of the green to a much more noticeable one. I used the HSL something, in which I covered the entirety of green into much more brighter and solid, in which using the Ultra key turned all shadows and anything wrong with it into complete nothing, which worked great. With the gate, I had decided to make it in Lego for it would be easy to control the height and depth of it and give it more of a push in the disassembling it. The first attempt on making the gate was extremely small, and all you could really get through it with like a pen or a pencil. But the disassembling it and reassembling it worked really well. And so after we had the model and the height we wanted, we rebuilt the gate using a different colour and type of Lego and got it to the right height so the model could walk through it. This worked pretty well, for the model could walk all the way through, and the disassembling and reassembling worked really well. Moreover, I had a problem with the lighting, for since I've got a window right next to it, the changing of the sun would give it different types of colouring in the Premiere Pro, in the camera and everything. So to solve this problem, we got a really big board of just, I think it was a colouring board actually, but yeah, to stop the lighting coming through. Then it got pretty dark, so we bought this really bright light, but if we put it towards the models, and yeah, there was a bunch of shadows, so we decided to point it at the ceiling to see if that would do better. It hugely did. Pointing at the ceiling made the reflecting easier, and there weren't any shadows at all, so that seemed to work beautifully. My final project is strong because I haven't only used one type of animation, I've used two: stop motion picturing in computers. The stop motion needed much more detail than I realised, and it was much harder than I thought it would be. For each picture you take has to be done with great care. You cannot move the camera not even an inch, for if you do, it's completely broken the entire stop motion, and there was much more care needed to add there. In the computer one, it was took much longer than it did the stop motion. It took about 2 weeks, I think, for I had to change so many things to get it right how I wanted. When I had all finished it and it looked exactly as I wanted it, when we uploaded it to YouTube, the music had completely changed. It was playing a different tempo, the height, the audio is completely broken, and I tried to solve that by bringing in the one that wasn't broken and putting it all back together again, but then it just broke it again. It was so hard. don't even need the thing saying the end. Like the flowing of the music works nicely for there's a little beep every time the gate falls down, and it raises and lowers very well. When we first enter, there's a slow raise, then a slow descend, in the same way in all the music. And towards my model, I was able to delete the rig, which works very nicely. However, we still got a little wire there, but I couldn't get rid of that. That would be nice to get back. And the breaking down the gate and building it back up flows well with the guy walking. It just is really good, in my opinion at least.
Okay. Now, what are the areas of improvement?
Improvement. Well, maybe at the part where he starts to go into the gaming world. For example, if we go into the Minecraft bit, he might come out instead of just the figure, he could come out as a blocky man, as they are in Minecraft. The same in the Mario bit. He could come out being quite small and jumping around the place all the time, as you do in Minecraft. Giving more blending into the background, I could say. The most thing that affected the product was the green screen. For when I first tried it, some of the background was coming through the model, in which that isn't really how green screen should go. And I worked so hard at just completely getting it through. That took me quite a while to do, and at one point, I got changed the colour of the whole green screen into a single colour. And then when I took it away using Ultra Key, it completely turned everything blue, and I had to research why that was happening. Apparently, it's to do with I didn't have enough space left, so I had to completely grab everything and start all over again, which really affected it a lot. But luckily, since I had built these skills, I did it pretty fast, so I'm quite happy about that. If I did have a chance to do it again, I think I would have taken more time using the model, making it actually a plasticine, for that would work so much better. I could actually choose the figure exactly as I imagined it. Also, I think I would have taken more time on the green screen, for the background can be maybe instead of just a singular image, could be a moving one. Maybe, for example, on the Super Mario World, there could be a Mario actually jumping about, doing the level, and then you get the guy walking through it. And I thought that would be a good idea. For the trees, you could get wind flowing by. I thought into single images you could have moving ones. That might be a good idea.
Okay, now finally, Jack, do you have a better understanding of the type or genre of your product now that it is complete? And can you explain how?
I absolutely do. I think there's a lot of comedy in there. For you've got this, the song from Hit the Road Jack is basically saying that the guy's hitting the road. He's walking through time, in which finding a place to go. And then the road to nowhere is also maybe a little bit extra for it, because in the end, it's just black. A black screen. He's literally walking to nothing. To nowhere. You've, it's. I think it would be a little bit of comedy there.